Ladies, pack your hoe bag.
Who you calling a hoe?
Pour up a drink and start.
That's a little kinky.
Hear it.
Streaming 24/7 across all platforms.
24/7.
Yes, sir.
Live on sayitloud.com. Lock it in.
Y'all keep it locked right here.
It is another episode of Say It Loud. And in my hot seat today, it is the one and only and a good friend of mine. And to the show, Miss Lisi Winnie. Hey, Lisi, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Hey, how are you?
I'm well. I'm so happy you're here, by the way.
I'm happy to be here. I know some things have happened. Probably would have been here a lot sooner, but I'm here now. So that's all that matters.
I am a fan though. I'm a diehard Life fan. Like, I love to see the work you're doing. I saw you on the radio the other day. I was like, yes, I'm rooting. I'm always rooting. Tell everybody a little bit about you.
So I'm Lisa Winnie. I'm AKA Lisa. I always do like the Lisa. I'm not a stallion. Like, I try to, cause I'm a girl. So I guess AKA Lisa the Pony, AKA Lisa, like AKA all of the different things, or Lisa, if you can't say Lisa, because I've had people call me all types of shit. But it's Lisa. I am the host of Millennials Anonymous podcast, which is an entertainment, popular culture podcast. We discuss everything from politics to what's going on with Kanye West, because he needs his own segment alone just to catch up on all the shit that's going on with Kanye. So we do it all. We interview, we have other podcasters on. It's been a hell of a ride. I'm doing it for 3 years so far with Millennials Anonymous. So I'm excited there. Also, the creator of Maps Media, which we have
over here.
4 different podcasts on the platform at the moment, and we're always looking for different people to collaborate with and partner with. We do web series, we write articles, we have different lists of great podcasters that we do. We probably will do at some point an award for podcasts as well. And then, of course, our Podfest that took place, the first Podfest we had, which was back in September, around International
Podfest. How was Podfest?
It was fun. It was stressful because you got to get everything together. All the speakers have to come together and it has to work, but it was fun. Shout out to Melon, the Melon app. I am on StreamYard. I do use StreamYard, but shout out to Melon, because it was sponsored through Melon. We did everything through Melon. So if you've not had a chance to check them out, check them out. It's a little less expensive than StreamYard. Yes, you always got to save money, but it was fun. So it was a mixture of brand new content. We talked to people like Etzel M. Brown, who's an entertainment attorney, because a lot of people don't realize this is a business. If you're doing podcasting, it's a business, and you need to protect yourself as such, because you can get sued. You may not think you can, but you can be sued for libel. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
And so copyright, all that. We talked about that. We had Travis from Poddex on, who he's really, really dope. We've had the CEO from Poddit was on. We had Podpage CEO on. We had so many people. Shout out to Geekset. Geekset came on. Geekset podcast, one of my faves. They're so fucking dope. And then we did some of the older interviews that we had that were replayed, like when I spoke with Matthew Knowles and he was talking about the entertainment industry. So that was replayed there. We spoke with Glozell. So we talked about, the video, Chig Smooth, who is a up and coming YouTuber. So it was a lot of fun.
That sounds exciting. That sounds like it does sound like a lot of work, but it's very exciting because I feel like we don't celebrate the podcasters enough. And we don't celebrate the independent podcasters enough. And that was one of the reasons I was like, you got to come on the show. Because we could sit here and talk about podcasting all day, but I think creating a foundation and a platform for the people. One time me and you had a conversation and something you said stuck with me. It was like, the people that already got it continue to get it. But people who don't have it and need those opportunities aren't getting them. And I think when I scheduled this interview, that is what came to my mind. That's what comes to my mind when I think of you. That's what comes to my mind when I think of Maps Media, because it's not about just making it. It's about creating something so that the people who need a voice and need representation have a space to do that. And I think
Yes.
that's really critical right now for me as a podcaster, because I see so many talented people who just don't have a place to grow. And then I see people that are growing just get more space to grow. And I'm not hating. I'm just
Right.
like, what happens? How do we feed the people at the bottom of the totem pole?
It's so hard because of the way that the industry is set up and the way social media is set up, that the algorithm will only feed you people things that are liked. And I want people to know that just because people haven't found your content yet doesn't mean that your content is not good. They've just
Right.
not found it yet. And just
Right.
because people are liking your content, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's good, because people tend to like things that other people like. We live in a world now of validation. We don't live for ourselves. We live for the validation of other fucking people.
Right.
And so they will like stuff just because somebody else liked it. So
Right.
just, you have to, I think, in this world, make sure that we, the community of independent podcasters and people who love and support those people, to share it. Like, we have a duty to show, okay, the algorithm, you're not doing right. I know, I see you. I see what you out there. I synced what you had did last summer. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share this person anyway. Put them in your story, tag them, put them on your timeline. We have to do that because the system is not going to do it. And that's how you grow these bigger platforms and these smaller platforms into larger platforms and help them to make money. So like, I love me some Millennial versus the World. Shout out to Keenan Mims. He's such a dope creator. It's so many people that are doing so many amazing things, and I want them to be known. And that's why whenever I can, I let people know who's out there. And I'm not the type of person listen, a lot of people get mad at me because I don't share everybody's shit and I don't like everybody's shit. But know that if I liked your shit, I liked your shit. Like, I'm not the type of person that's just gonna like it because you like mine and then you gotta share mine now. Like, no, I don't do that. You went down on me, I'm gonna go down on you. Like, I go down on you if I want to.
Right.
So
Right.
if I share it, it means I truly fuck with you and I like what you're doing. And that's why when we create the list at Maps Media, I'm not just putting people that I like and people that like me. I'm actually putting people's podcasts on there that I've listened to, and we actually show you why we pick them, as opposed to just a list of people that I fuck with. Like, that's cool and all, but it don't really have the same weight if it's no real, I don't really fuck with your shit like that.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. And a belief in behind the work. Because there's a lot of people, like you said, that are really, really cool. But we might not necessarily align content wise or align. I don't know. I just definitely feel like
everything ain't for everybody, and that's okay too.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's not good.
I'm all for everything ain't for everybody. I'm more looking at it from like those bigger networks though. And I'm like, how do we get the smaller people to move up that ladder? You know what I mean? When I think about the iHearts and the Black podcast networks, and I think about those people, right? And then and other celebrities that come out with podcasts, and that's great. I support that. But I'm like, well, how do the people that are out here who've been doing this, who have invested in this, who have been putting in their blood, sweat, and tears, coming home from work every day, and you know this, Lisa, you're booking guests in the car because you got to take the kids to soccer and then go home and cook dinner and work your full-time job, and then you understand what I'm saying? Like, how do we get people the recognition they deserve for the work that they've been doing? Because the truth is, they have the content and they've been committed in doing it. How do we create a platform where they grow bigger than just this tiny little network or box that people put us in?
I think that it goes with us, people like us that have a platform. We have to continue to share them so that the network can see them. Because I've seen, and shout out to Geekset, by the way, and they started from absolutely nothing. Now they have gone to a place where probably in 2022 they may be on a larger network, and they've started by the people around them sharing their stuff. And so they shared it, the other people shared it, and then what happened is that because other people were sharing their stuff and they really were supporting them, when they reached out to guests, it was like, oh, there's somebody. Let me go. And they already had the content. So it's not like they were watching this or watching whatever they were sending them and they didn't have content. Then they were like, oh, they're onto something. And so then it felt like I found something new that's not out there yet. And then it started to grow. So I think we do have to, the community, the people, the podcast community, we've got to band together, which I know it's hard because it's like, oh, I want to go through the door first. I want to be the one first. But sometimes you gotta, if you see something, share it. It's okay. It's enough room for everybody. And I think that's how we get them noticed by the Black Effect networks and the Joe Budden networks. And we've got to share it. And otherwise, no one else is going to see it or hear it.
For sure. How do you think podcasting has changed since COVID? Have you felt any different? Have you seen anything different or?
A lot more. There's a lot more podcasts since COVID, because when everybody went in a house, everybody got locked up. Everybody was locked up, like Akon said. Everybody started a podcast. It was like, I don't have shit else to do. Like, let me sit here and talk. And I feel like that's what shifted. I think more people realize that they have a voice too. And I don't see anything wrong with that, because some people say, well, that's too many.
Right. That was going to be my next question. Do you feel, because I have my days, I'm not going to lie. I have my days where I'm just like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. Can I compete out here? And there's so 750,000 and every day, you know, that number's growing. You just, you know, it's a big pool. And then other days I'm just like, fuck it, just keep doing what you're doing. But do you feel anytime that like, okay, y'all was all home now, everybody and their mama had a listen, before COVID, I was going live every night. I swear to God, nobody, like a couple people watched it, but it wasn't like a big thing to go live. COVID hit, there was DJs going live. There were shows going live. Like I got to the point where I was just like, bro, I'm not even doing like 8 o'clock during COVID. Everybody and their mama had to go on Instagram live. Everybody, 8 o'clock. That's all I saw. DJs, talk show hosts, everybody, their cousins, their mama, their aunts, their uncles, everybody. And so, yeah, I think COVID did kind of like make you gotta really, there's just a lot more. There's just a lot more.
I don't think it's too many people. And this is why, because I think that the people that aren't in it for the long haul are going to sit the fuck down eventually, because this is not despite what I've heard people say, oh, it's free, it's cheap, it's easy. I was like, none of those things are true. So once you start doing it, you start realizing, okay, this is going to require a lot of time. This requires effort, and it actually requires some money in order for you to make a quality product that's going to last. And so all of those people eventually are going to say, you know what, I'm not going to do it no more. So I would say, hey, more power to you. Pick it up, grandma, cousins, uncles, you, your mom and your cousin too. Everybody can come, because eventually the people that's in it, like you and I, are going to be, we in it.
Yeah. Ain't no going back now. I do understand where that. I think there's a difference between a hobbyist and somebody who's like, no, I'm going to make something with this. I'm going to do something with this. I'm a creative. This is where
It's a fine line, though.
Yeah,
I think it's a very, very fine line, because I think that somebody who's doing it as a hobby could eventually have somebody say, you know what, you should be doing this. Like, this is what you should be doing. And then it becomes, okay, well, maybe I should take this a little bit more serious.
Right. But those people, they have a passion and a talent in them. So you would know.
True.
You know? Those people, you know that. Like, I know when I hear something or I see something, like, yo, they onto something. They got it. Like, I know. Even if they don't know, I know.
Yes.
So, you know, like I could smell that a mile away. Like, they onto something. You know what I mean? It might not be for me, but whatever it is, they on it. You know,
Facts.
and I can see that. So, yeah, I think those people know. And I do think there's some people that, like you said, you know, this was fun and it's cool. And, you know, but at some point,
have you seen that? Because I've seen that more recently. A lot of people saying, oh, this is my last show. This is my last episode. I'm not doing it no more. So I'm starting to see more people kind of like give it up. Like, they finally like, you know what? The world didn't open back up. I can go in the club, even though I don't know if I want to be in a club with the unicorn virus. I know that's not what it's called, but like I call it the unicorn virus out there. Like, I really don't want to be out here in these streets.
I have been going out lately because I have to leave the house. and it's too peoply out there. So yes, there is certain spaces where, yeah, it's I'm not going.
The club is one of them. No.
I mean, but the whole time we was in COVID, I was watching Atlanta. They was in the club the whole
That
time.
is true.
Like, I'm like, so
No, but remember when Magic City had the virtual strip club? No, even when Magic City, we knew it was something serious. When Magic City shut down, they had the virtual stripper club. Like you had to pay $20. I was like, what the fuck?
yeah, like
They needed to open back up.
like y'all still smoking hookah? Like I thought there was COVID outside. What? Like we
They
don't
kill it.
New York, you better stay home. Like we didn't have that. We was all watching everybody else have a good time from New York.
Oh
So
yeah, y'all got it bad. Y'all had it
We was-
rough up New York.
that like I've never seen
Cuomo.
I never seen a city that never sleep like this. Like I was in Times Square one day and I was like, are you shitting me? Like there's no people out here? Because it's never, ever, ever, ever closed.
Shut
Like
down.
there was like tumbleweeds going by. Like it was real. I mean, yeah, it was pretty bad. But you know.
And y'all governor, he was up there acting a damn fool the whole time.
It's so funny you said that because my sister was telling me the other day. She was like, you notice he's gone and they're not doing these daily updates no more. I'm like, you're right. Nobody knows what the hell is going on now. We don't know because nobody does nothing. Like before it was too much information. And now it's just like, so we just gonna pretend there's not, people.
I think y'all I feel like New York figured it out because it was like so much happened in such a short period of time. Like y'all didn't have a choice because everybody come through New York. Like if you a tourist, you come into New York or LA. Like those are the two. Like you ain't coming to like who coming to Baltimore? What they gonna say? I want to see where the Wire was at. Like nobody's coming here. Like everybody's going there, and so y'all had no choice. And maybe Texas. I think Texas probably has a lot of people coming.
Figure it out. Yeah, no, it was definitely different. It was definitely different, but we all right now though. Everybody's like back to normal for the most part. Like, we all got masks on, but everybody's back to normal.
Did the Spider-Man with the Timberlands, did he come back outside? He's back.
He probably back outside. So is the half naked guy in Times Square. He out there too in the cold. It's like 30. He outside in his boxes. But all right though. That's what you want to do. But yeah. So what else is going on? I mean, I know you talk about pop culture all the time. So what else? What are we talking about in pop culture?
Well, a lot. I mean, Will Smith has been in popular culture recently because he came out with, I don't know if you know, but he has a book out.
Right.
So he's been talking a lot. He has a book and then he has this movie, King Richard, which I watched. It was a 2-hour movie. It was okay. I'm just gonna say it was okay. But they are petitioning to stop him and Jada Pinkett from talking because they're saying that they know way too many intimate details about Will Smith. And I don't know if I would shut them up, but I agree that I think that now with celebrities, we have way too much information. Like, I get that you want to be transparent, and I think that's how people like Cardi B kind of just like blew up because people felt like they knew her, but I think there's a limit. Do you think there's a limit on how much we should know about our celebrities? Should we keep them like at a distance?
I feel like they should keep us at a distance. There's certain things in your life that like your mama don't need to know, your sister don't need to know, and neither does the rest of the world. I think
because you heard what he said though, right? About sex.
And then he was like throwing up or something like that because he was having so much sex. He probably got to go therapy, work that out. That probably explains what be happening with Jada. I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? She had a whole entanglement. Maybe he just was like, I'm tapping out. Like, I don't know. I just think that.
Could you imagine though? He's having sex with you and he's like, could you imagine?
I was trying to throw up on my back and I'm going to turn around and punch you in the face. Like, I don't know what's liable to happen after that. I don't know because I'm going to feel some type of way. Like, my first reaction is going to be to hurt someone. That's gonna be my first reaction. Like, I'm not even gonna be emotional till I get in the car, but that immediate moment, somebody's getting hurt and it ain't gonna be me. So I don't even like the first time that happened, I would be like, okay, maybe he drank too much.
What if he
But the
gagged? What if he
second
just
time
went
that happened,
like he didn't throw up, but he just went
yeah,
he just got one of them.
he need to sort that out. He need to sort that out. But like I said, that does explain a lot now. Kinda. I don't know.
You
I
think
think their
so?
relationship is too open. Like not too open, like y'all can't see other people. I don't care about that. I just think like y'all be telling people like way too much.
Way too much.
Way too much. Like we don't all need to know. Like we just don't. Like if I was Will, the way Jada have him out here, I'd be so embarrassed. If I was
You
Will,
think it's her or
I think it's
I
them
mean,
both. But like she done fell in love with a whole nother man, gonna be like, I just wanted to be loved. Hello, sis, you married.
right?
Your husband, I just wanted to be loved, and it just was so long. And it's like, yo, dude, live right in the house. Hello. Like you didn't have no respect for you. Like you should have been groveling for forgiveness.
But if he over here dry heaving, why they haven't? I could understand why she don't feel love. He like no, we can't.
Like, come on. I feel like, and then like Tupac, I loved him my whole entire life. Like if I was Will, I'd just be like, you know what?
But you don't have that one though, that one person that like, although maybe they passed away or something happened where you're not together anymore, but it's just like, man, especially if they pass away, it's like if he were,
I would kind of carry that close to my heart by myself. You know,
okay, you wouldn't tell him. You wouldn't say.
Like, I don't have to remind my husband of that every single chance that I get. You know, like I don't have to tell the rest of the world. Like if he was still alive, I wouldn't be with your ass. Like I wouldn't have to. Like, sis, like, can you have a little compassion for the man? Like I feel bad for Will. I really do. Like I don't feel that bad because I feel like men do that to women all the time.
Agreed.
But I'm like, yo, Jada is like 100% gangster with it. Like she is just like, no, fucking.
But you know who not gangster though? Speaking of gangsters, you know who's not? Tammy Roman. I thought she was because like she wear the bonnet and she talk like she was on what was it, Basketball Wives that she was on? Well, yes. Okay. Well, I think they are married, but he wants a baby. She does not.
That's the one I read that. She said for him to go get a baby and come back.
In you got 2 years to play around with this woman, and then he can come back home.
He ain't coming back.
That's what I'm like, just break up. Just leave. Like I don't
Isn't there an age gap between them two?
Yes, but that's why, because her children are older.
And he's like 30-something years old.
Right.
Girl, if you don't put down that toy and get on with it, go find a man that smell like something my daddy wear and get on with it.
He smell like juke and whiskey.
Yes, that's what he need to smell like. He need to smell like Old Spice. Get you one of them. You smell like mouthwash and Old Spice and
aftershave.
50 years old. Like you want a 30-year-old husband. He of course gonna want kids.
Yeah, get you a man that got butterscotch and peppermints in his pocket and he wear penny loafers. Yeah. Listen, you need to talk about that.
You need a grandpa.
You do. And she needs to talk about that. Like beforehand, you can't get married and then it was like, oh, well, I kind of want a baby. That's not how that works. Like y'all should have that conversation before you go further. And I think this is why a lot of people get fucked up, because you don't have the conversation because it's uncomfortable. Oh, I don't want to have the money conversation. Oh, I don't want to talk about debt. Oh, I don't want to talk about kids or religion. And I was like, all of these things matter and they will come up. You need to talk about that now. And I'm like, girl, please, 2 years. What woman is allowing you to fuck me, have a baby, sit with me for 2 years and then just leave? Where are they doing that at?
I don't know, but does she know that if she married that man, she gonna be paying that child support? Because if they're married and she makes and they put their money together, then when that woman goes for child support, it's gonna be both their income. So Tammy gonna be paying the child support.
She said she'll take care of the baby. She said she just didn't want to have that said baby. She said she'll take care of it. She just doesn't want to have it. I was like, if that's the case, go get a surrogate.
Right. Get a surrogate and raise the baby together. She don't want to do that either. She don't want to be the mom. She want to be the stepmom. That's what I'm hearing you say.
You want to be a stepmom?
I'm not signing up to be no mom. Not my body. Not me in the middle of the night. I'll take the weekends, please, for $200. And I'm like, oh, that's what I hear you saying. That's what it sounds like to me. That she want to be the rich auntie. That's what it sounds like.
She's scissoring the baby only on the weekends. I
Yeah.
just I don't know if I could do that and watch my husband go off for 2 years because I'm like, sis, listen, you really don't like him. You don't like him because if you want him to go for 2 years, you don't like him. You want him out your house. That's what that is.
She don't
Just
love
say
him.
it.
Because if she loved him, she'd be like, all right, let's just adopt the baby.
She said they didn't want to adopt because he wanted his own baby. He wanted to pass on his legacy of whatever he got.
Then you need a surrogate.
Right. And she got the money, I believe so. I was like, it's not like you're poor, like you can afford.
I feel like people out here surrogate for nothing these days. Like, they the rent. I'm getting a baby. Like, I feel like you could convince somebody to be a surrogate right now. Like, we in the middle of a recession. Somebody gonna give up a kid.
True.
So I think you could get I think if she really wanted to, it sounds like, if I really loved a man, I'm not saying I would have a baby for him because I don't want to have any more children, but I wouldn't be so quick to be like, go get one.
Yeah.
Especially on a public platform like that. Like, you're demeaning your whole relationship to me.
Yeah, that's a bit much. And I was like, no, that's gonna be a no for me. Just go find you somebody that matches better. Because y'all don't belong together.
When that woman is not out of his life and he's still fucking her, what are y'all gonna do? What is she gonna do then? Because you just open the door. You just open the floodgates. You just open the floodgates.
Yeah, because a woman not gonna go away because they got a baby. She gonna be in his life. So now you have, well, maybe she want a sister wife, but she just didn't want, because I'm like, just have a sister wife. She can live with y'all in the house. Because that's the thing. Like I say, if y'all are gonna, I don't believe in, it's not for me, but if you like polygamy or polyamory and that's for you, that's for you. But if you're gonna do it, you gotta do it right. It's like in order for it to make sense, they got to live with y'all.
Right, because now he got this kid, and how's that gonna work? He's not in the kid's life all the time, but he want to be with his kid. Like, that's too messy. She's too old to be so messy. She's too old. She should just go get her sugar daddy, and that's it. Y'all could get some puppies and call it a day.
That's what she should have did, because her kids is grown. She about to have grandkids out here in these streets.
Yeah,
and
now
now
that's part of also her being with somebody so much younger. And like,
but do you think people shouldn't date younger then?
I don't think they shouldn't date younger, because I'm going to date younger for sure when I'm that age. I have no problem with that. My thing is, though, when you're with somebody that's younger, you got to understand that they haven't been through the same things that you've been through in life, and that there might be some experiences that they want that you've had already, and you got to understand that and let them have that to some extent. You can't take their life away from them because you did it already.
So you have to be, if you're gonna date a younger man and you're an older or a younger woman, man or woman, I ain't no judgment here. You have to be anticipating that there could be some stepping outage on here, or they might wander, and you have to be okay with that. Is that what you're saying?
I don't think you have to be okay with them wandering. I think that there's some experiences in life that they haven't had. They've never been married before. You have to know that when you date somebody that's younger, because if you've been married and they haven't, you have to understand your perceptions and their perceptions might not be the same thing. You have children, they haven't had any children. So you're like, I got to go run pick up my kid. They're a priority. They don't have kids. They don't know what that feels like. So you have to understand, when you date someone that hasn't had certain experiences, it's going to affect your relationship. And you have to just be open-minded as to how to deal with that. I don't think nobody has to step out on each other. But I think you definitely have to understand that, like, this person doesn't have any children. This might be something that they want. Again, like you said, we need to have this conversation, because you might be like, I'm done. I did that already. I'm not doing it. But here's somebody who hasn't. And if you know that, and that's not about age, it's not necessarily about being younger. It could be just someone that had that experience. And you're going to have to understand that, like, if I'm going to make this relationship work, we're going to have to figure this out. However,
Agreed. I think that makes sense, because it's not always about age. Sometimes it's just you're not on the same level. But for me, I just don't think that I could do it. I don't think I could date somebody incredibly younger than me. Like, what are they, like 15 years age gap? I think that's too much for me. No judgment out there. Do what you do as long as the person legal.
Right.
We ain't R. Kelly of this bitch. But if I couldn't do it, because I feel like at some point there's a disconnect between where you are mentally and where, and I was like, I don't have time to be raising you. I didn't raise my kids, or I'm raising my children. I can't raise you
Right.
with my kids.
Right.
Because I know there's some people that date younger people and they're like, well, you can't tell, they're so mature. And I was like, I don't give a fuck what you're saying. At some point, there's a conversation that's had where you realize, they young as shit. Like, you can't remember when you was out and we was watching, Fraggle Rock. What's that? Like, at some point, you go have that conversation where you like, damn, you couldn't even hold your neck up. Like,
kids, go sit at the kids' table.
Right. I don't want to feel like that. My husband is 6 months younger than me, but that.
But that I'm talking years. I'm talking 9, 10, 15 years difference. I'm not talking about.
And from a sex perspective, as an old lady, I don't think I want to. When men in their early 20s, that's like their prime. Okay, women, I think in their early 40s is their prime. So there you go, ladies. Here
we are.
There you now you know. But when you in like 50, I don't want to have to be like, you still want to do it again? Like, I can't.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think I want to age with somebody, and so, there's like, I think it's for fun for me right now. Like, you're younger, a little bit younger, I don't mind, but like 10 years, I also got kids, bro. You can't be younger than my kids. Man, I got grown kids. You know what I mean? If my kid's gonna be like, Mom, what is you doing? And we can't have that. Like, I can't be like, yo, say hello to your stepfather, and they be like, I went to school with that nigga. Like, I can't do that.
Lord Tony from up the street.
Yeah, I can't. I can't do that. So I can't have. I can't have my grandkids.
You can play though.
I could play, yeah, for sure. We can have all the fun you want, but my grandkids can't be like, yo, me and you shopping at the same store. Can't do that. You know what I mean? Like, I can't buy you the same video games I buy my son. Like, come on now.
You out here looking for an Xbox for your son and for your boyfriend.
Y'all coming to eat or not? Like, whose friend is this? Like, no, I can't have
that. Yeah. Is he here for you or for me? I'm confused now.
Can't do that.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna judge.
Hey,
do you ladies and gentlemen? Do you? Even though I feel like men get I don't know, because I feel like women get a pass too. Because especially you having a son. I feel like that was something that happened recently. It was another teacher who was involved with the student, and it was a female teacher. And for some reason, that's not looked at the same way when it's a female teacher just doing that and not a male teacher. So I feel like sometimes women they're able to get away with some things that men aren't able to get away with, even though everybody should go to jail. I don't give a fuck.
So as an educator and a mother of a son, I do not play that shit. I do not think that older women who are in a place of authority should take advantage of young men. If it was R. Kelly and we don't allow it, then it could be R. Shelley and we don't allow it. What is you doing? Because I would go over there and bust somebody in the head if they touch my son. And usually, with men, it's a double standard, because it's like, oh, he's a boy and he's having sex and she's an older woman. I will knock her motherfucking head off. Do you understand me? I will go to jail and I will smile at my mugshot. I will, because I feel like when it's men, it's like, oh my God, he's a sexual predator. Right? Lock your daughters up. He's nasty old man. And he is. Right. I'm saying he isn't. But like, sis, something wrong with you. And that's somebody's child. And today might be the day you finna die. I don't know. But
it's a good day to die. Good day to die hard, baby. Good day.
And it's put him in jail, lock him under the jail. They're gonna beat him up when he gets to jail because he's a sex offender and he can't be out in the neighborhood and everybody's scared of him. But when it's a woman that does that to a young man, she ain't registering as no sex offender. Ain't nobody whispering in the neighborhood. She ain't getting beat up yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be doing that. You can't be doing that. I don't care.
It pisses me off though, because when you hear, it's a lot of guys who have experienced something similar to that, but the way that they talk about it, it's quite fascinating. I was like, you do realize that you've been abused, right?
Right. No, they look at it like, well, I was 13 years old and she was, you know how many guys say I was 13, 14, 15, and 16, and she was an older woman. And you thinking like, oh, she's 17, 18. No, sis 26.
27.
Sis the babysitter, sis the neighbor, sis
Mama
the
friend.
auntie, cousin, best friend. Hello.
Yeah.
You
And we want to protect our sons too, okay? Because those boys grow up to be crazy ass men that have unresolved issues because some crazy woman has taken advantage of these young boys. So we need to protect our sons the way we protect our daughters, and that shit is not cool. I don't want to hear not near no other person say, I wish where was these teachers at when I was in school. No, we not doing that.
And like parents need to get involved too, and like pay attention the same way you pay attention to your daughters and what they doing and who they talking to. You need to do the same thing for your sons, because we have this idea with boys like, oh, it's macho and it's machismo, right? And you know, he's cool and he's gonna have to go through it one day. Like, no, not today. Not today. Not so he could grow up and be like dysfunctional in a relationship or as an adult, or not understand intimacy, or not understand connection, or think that every woman is going to do this. And a lot of times those boys end up being overly sexualized.
Yes.
And so now they can't have relationships. They can't have healthy relationships or sexual relationships with women because this lady done, you know, fuck their head up.
Yeah. And I know way too many men that have had that same story. Like women, apparently we just as fucked up in the head, because I know so many men that have that same story of telling us like, wow, it's too prevalent. It's way too prevalent out here.
Yeah, it's way too many men out here. And I know there's men listening to this right now going, yup. And that's sad. It's sad because those stories go untold. And so nobody says anything because it seems like it's normal and it's okay when it's not. And you know, getting high fives when you tell people versus somebody going like, damn, maybe this lady should be locked up. Maybe she shouldn't come around no more. You know, any of those types of situations. So yeah, it's a sad situation.
Yeah, I talked to Royce, and I know you got to wrap it up, but I talked to Royce Massengill. I hope I guess I'm not putting his information out there because it's on the podcast. So he was on last season 3, and he talked about his experience with being sexually abused, and not really, but his wasn't by, it was someone older, but it wasn't like a teacher or whatever.
Right.
But the way that they internalize it has some really, really bad implications later on for their relationship. So I was like, please, if something's like that's going on, please go talk to somebody and tell somebody it's not cool, it's not macho, it's not what we doing. Okay. And it's okay for men to it's okay for y'all to tell that.
Yeah. I think that's another thing too. We shouldn't shame men. We tend to shame men for a lot of things. Like they got to be tough all the time. They can't cry. You got to puff out your chest. You got to not be sad. You got to not be angry. You got to walk straight, put your head up, make sure nobody take like the rules for the man. And I'm not saying women don't have them too, but it's a lot. And so they don't get it. They got to carry it. They don't have a space to put it down. And so
now you have the gay thing where everybody's gay. Like if you have any emotion or you're not this, you're gay.
Yeah, because we're not allowed to show emotion. But that's the problem. That's why so many people walk around angry, because you know, no space to put it down. Like, so I'm just walking around being angry all the time because I'm angry at this and I'm angry at, and this happened and this hurt, and I can't cry and I can't hug and I can't be soft and I can't say how I feel. So I just gotta walk around with all of this negative energy for whatever bottled up. And then,
but he alpha though.
You know.
He alpha. He's sad and he mad and he angry and he don't know why, but he alpha.
Yeah, but you know, I think there's got to be a space to be healthy.
No, I agree. No, I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah, like no, he is an alpha still. It doesn't mean that you're not. It's just you gotta sort that out.
I hate titles. There's no such thing as an alpha and a beta male. Stop it. You're just a man. If you start putting yourself in boxes and labels, you will never be able to get out of the goddamn box and label, and you're gonna be miserable.
Or you're gonna live up to somebody else's expectation.
Exactly. Throw that bitch in the ocean. Like we done. Okay.
Yeah, I is who I is, and that's just what it is. You know.
Right. I love me a man that can recognize his emotions, and I think most women do.
I think if she doesn't, it's a weak bitch tendency, and she probably need to get help and figure that out. Because you know, there's some if a woman that doesn't appreciate that has some work to do on herself. And that's my honest
Agreed.
opinion. Because that means that you whatever you came to this relationship with doesn't allow for that person to be human, whatever those expectations are, whatever you saw before. And so in order to respect your partner as a whole and as an equal, you have to be able to give them that space and understand who they are. And there's a lot of women that don't do that because we don't see it, and they've been taught not to, like, oh, he's weak, he's this, he's that. And then that man is like, well, I'm having a bad day, I don't want to call her, I don't want to go home, and that's why.
Yeah, he end up on somebody else's couch in
And that's
somebody else's house.
yeah, it's
And
the
then you
truth.
want
Like,
to
it
know why.
sounds funny, but that's the reality, because it's not a safe space for him emotionally. And so it don't make it
Right.
right, but it is what it is. We gotta acknowledge
Agreed.
that. And we gotta acknowledge where we learn that behavior so we can unlearn it.
True. True. Very, very true. And she said weak bitch tendencies. You can buy merchandise. You can go to I am Karen Allen, her website, and you can purchase. It's on sale today, just so that you know.
Bitch. Yeah, go get your weak bitch. I mean, we all been a weak bitch. I say it all the time. We all been a weak bitch before. But that's the evolution that you learn from those experiences so you don't do that again. See, I will not be
Ooh,
caught
my
up.
early 20s was nothing but that.
I think all of us, though. I think all of us is you go through some shit when you're young because nobody told you not to, and you think you have it figured out, and then you get to like 30 and 40, and you're like, oh shit, I would never do that shit now. You
Yeah, I
know?
could have wrote the weak bitch encyclopedia in this
Never-
motherfucker.
now you never catch me like that. But at 20, you think you think you know what you're talking about. You think you know what you're doing. You think you understand love. You think you understand relationships. You don't listen to nobody. And at 40, you're like, you see, you ain't getting me out my
Mhm.
skin for that.
I was a pick me. Oh my god, in my 20s, I was a pick me.
Can we
It
just
was
touch on the pick me, because I feel like a lot
yes.
of women don't know what a pick me is, except they all pick me's.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Well, if you don't know what a pick me is a woman who doesn't live her life for herself. She lives her life for the approval and the attention of men. And her value is placed on whether or not men accept her and like her. So if you see her, she's talking about sports, but it's not because she likes sports. It's because men like sports. She's
Right.
sitting on her dirty ass bathroom sink, not because we want to see her ass cheeks, but she thinks men want to see her ass cheeks. And she's saying, oh, it's sexually, I'm sexually free. I was like, no, you're not. You want fucking attention. Like, that's
Right.
what it is. So that's a pick me. So when I was younger, that's all I wanted, because I thought that that would make me better. It would make me complete. I would be a better woman, and men more valuable if men thought I was attractive. Live my whole, well, not my whole 20s, probably my first early part of my 20s like that.
I think most women think that, though. I think we think in our late teens, in our 20s, that we have to be, this beautiful sex symbol that gets attention, and that equates to some type of fucking success or some shit like that. Because that's what society tells us, right?
Right.
And then I don't know about you, but I got to 40 and I was like, fuck it, you're gonna take what everybody in this clothes, and this is who I am, and I'm gonna just sing in my skin, and it's cool. But it takes a very strong woman to be in that space too. Like, and you don't get there at 20. You
You
get
don't.
there when you get there.
Right? It might be 50, might be 60.
I mean, some of us might not ever get there,
True. Cause like I know some women, their whole goal. I'm not saying you shouldn't get married. I'm not saying that at all. But a lot of women that's the value. It's like marriage means I'm better than you because I'm married. And that means some man wanted me and a man doesn't want you. And I just want everybody to know, get married if you want to. Don't get married if you don't want to. But don't do it because you think this is going to somehow make you happy. Because if you go into a relationship can't nobody make you happy but you. You just gonna make them miserable while they're trying to make you happy. And then you're gonna have two sad motherfuckers. Like let's not do that either. But yes, women, if you out there, it's okay. We all go through it. Like Karen said, she said we all got some weak bitch tendencies, but just don't stay there.
I feel like, I'm not married. I don't know why. People always ask me why you're not married. And how the fuck am I supposed to know, Lise? How am I supposed to know that? I don't know. I don't know. But I don't like when people ask me that because I
I
feel
can
like
see that.
I don't like when people ask me that because I'd be like, with all this other cool shit I got going on, why the fuck is that the most important thing you ask me? Of all the things you can ask me today, you get to ask me one question. Why would that be the question that you ask me? There's so much other dope shit going on in my life. And I think sometimes we equate that to some, like I said, some level of success, right?
Right.
Like that's for women, that's like I don't know, some epitome of success. And I'm like, bro, but there's so much other like dope shit happening. Why is that my measurement or my bar that I need to aspire? I'm not saying I won't ever do it.
Right.
But I don't think like it's not on a list that I'm gonna tick off of my accolades. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, like there, and I think that's how society has it for us right now. It's just like, okay, well, you know, you ever meet someone and it's like, what do you do for a living? Where do you live? Are you married?
I
You're like, bro, like there's so many. How about I'm funny? I got this podcast. I'm running some businesses. I go to work every day. You know what I'm saying? I got a union, like city job. You know what I'm saying? I got the summers off. Why is my value as a woman in who I choose to be with? Like that's not like it doesn't depreciate my value or appreciate my value in some cases. Why is that like the measuring stick?
Agreed. I think it's because it's just the way we were programmed that men, because of misogyny, men are better than women. And so they put you in this, who are you with? You need a man in order to lead you because for some reason there's this thing that women can't lead themselves. You need a man to lead you somewhere. And I was like, sometimes these men be leading you straight off a fucking cliff. Like y'all really be Wile E. Coyote in this bitch. Like we not doing that.
Doing that.
Yes. So I think that's what it is. It's just that we don't know how to break that cycle of misogyny that a woman needs a man in order to be successful. No, I can have a man that compliments me. I can have one if I want one, but I don't need one in order to say that I am a good woman.
Right. And that goes back to the pick me. Well, she must be a good woman because she's married. And it's just like, I just did a show called Men Settle Too. Hello, sis. Some of y'all got settled for. He was just tired of playing the field and he'd been doing this for a minute. And you wasn't the first one or the second one. You was the one he just ended up with. And a lot of women don't know that either. They're thinking, oh, well, I bring this to the table and I'm married. And it's just like, nah, dude done told like 6 chicks you was supposed to be the one. You was number 7. You know, like you was the one that took the bait, but you wasn't the first choice.
You the one that got.
Yeah. And women don't ever think about that. They always think like, oh, you know, like I was first choice. And I know a lot of men that are married and was like, you know, I turned 40 something, you know, I wanted to settle down. All my friends was having kids and, you know, I just, you know,
pick the safest one, and I went with that one.
This is the best I could do. You know what I mean? Well, I had about $40. This is what I could buy for $40, and you know what? And that's that. You know, the low hanging fruit. It was decent enough. You know, you ever go to buy something and you're like, "This is all I'm spending. I'm gonna just get the best I can with what I got." It's like she's that woman. She's that. It's not like she's not bad.
She the off-brand version
it's
of
the best
Kellogg.
that I could get under the circumstances. You know what I mean? You went in a car dealership, you want this. This is what they had, this is what you had, and this was what your compromise was. And a lot of women don't know that. You was compromise.
A lot of y'all don't know y'all Fruit O's. Like you went out for Fruit Loops and ended up with Fruit O's. That's just y'all just don't realize that yet.
Yeah, it's true though.
I agree. I think that there's way more women than men anyway. So I think women, we have less options. Just in sheer number, there's less men than there are women. Not to mention there's some men like men. So then you have even less, you know, of those. So we don't have a lot of options as it is. So I know that men do settle, but I think they have more options. Like they also can men, when they age, they become more distinguished. You
Yes.
know, a younger woman can be attracted to an older man, whereas it happens where younger men are attracted to older women, but they're usually like bomb. Like the older women, like they don't just be any older man. Like you
Not the
look at
regular old women like we see at the bus stop.
right, you talking about Halle Berry type woman,
Yeah.
like, ooh, look at her, you know, Angela Bassett.
Or
They're
rich.
attracted to them. Or rich. Oprah could, hey, I told my husband, if Oprah bet you gonna take one for everybody in this house, you gotta take one for the team.
We don't have as much. I mean, yeah, women, we don't have a big pool when it comes to that either. We're not getting the everyday woman like that is not.
Agreed.
getting
Now,
it.
men, I'm not saying that they aren't shitty women. Women can be just as shitty as men. I know women that hit men. I know women that start stuff. I know women that cheat. Like I know them all. I've met them. I've talked to them. And I say the same thing to them that I say to the dude. I say, keep your hands to your fucking self. And I mean
Right.
everybody.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to fuck other people, either tell them up front or leave. You know,
Right.
don't cheat on nobody. And if you're going to treat somebody bad, it's probably whether or not you should have a conversation with yourself to figure out if this is internal. And if it is, work on you and come back. Don't
Right.
bring nobody down with you. So I say it to everybody. So men, don't think I'm shitting on y'all. I'm not. I get it. I know. It's some shitty women out here. Trust
Yeah,
me.
no, I feel like it's a mixture of both. You know, you don't know where you're going to get people. A lot of people have their own issues and they come with their own baggage. And, you know, you just got to sift through the shit. It is what it is. You know, that's
Mhm.
part of it. That's part of the whole dating process and being with someone is that you got to grow with them and you got to figure them out and they got to figure themselves out. You know, I just think when we get to a certain age, there's certain shit I don't want to figure out. Like I just let me know what it is because I don't have the patience to try to. Well, we need to work through this, bro. Go sort that shit out, and when you're ready, I'll see how I
Yep.
feel. Because I can't guarantee, like, you know, at this age, I got shit to do. I got shit to do at this age. You know what I mean? I need to book this flight. We going or not? You know, because if not, I'm out. So I have very low time, very low.
Tolerant for the bullshit. So that's why I like aging in some ways. Because it's like I know what I want now.
Mhm.
It's not like I'm trying to figure it out. Like, where are you? What are you? I still think that there should be some levels of compromise. Maybe I haven't hit that threshold just yet
Yeah,
where I'm like completely like fuck it. Like either you coming or you going. What we doing?
right.
But I agree that we all need to work on ourselves in order to have a good relationship. And look at Kim and Kanye. Kim finally said, you know what, Kanye, she's in her 40s now. She's like, I'm done. So maybe it does happen once you get a certain age where you're like, I'm just not gonna put up with the bullshit no more. And now she giving hickeys and everything. So there you go.
She another one. I don't know what I don't know what she going through with this young boy because that's another one. I don't know. Every time I look at him, I'm just like, really though? You went from Kanye to this kid?
Allegedly, he's packing. Allegedly, that's what I've heard.
I don't care what he's packing.
That's
like Dennis the Menace or something like that. Like what?
Maybe she just looking for fun. Like she was with Kanye all them years.
I think it's just someone to keep her company. That's what I think. I just think it's someone to keep her company. I don't think there's any longevity there. I think it's just help me get
Attention.
out and get through this, right? And get under something else. Because like you can't be serious, bro. But then again, you know, she's had some fucked up relationships. So maybe she's like, yo, I did this for so long and it didn't work. Maybe I should try something else.
Yeah, she went from chocolate milk to just white milk, plain.
Yeah, but that's look at her sister.
But she always
but maybe she was like, you know what? Courtney's done better than me. Maybe this is what I need to do because me and Chloe over here fucking it up.
because she had Scott Disick.
Yeah, that's a whole mess in itself too. But I don't know. Maybe she just felt like, let me do something different.
But again, pick me's, listen, they're the most beautiful women supposedly on earth. And look what the fuck they got. Like that should tell you all you need to know.
Yeah.
It's not all about that.
Yeah. The whole thing is messed up. But the mom is brilliant. I'll give her that.
I give her that too.
All right, the mom is brilliant. The mom is just like, well, if y'all gonna be in here acting like a bunch of clowns, we finna make some money.
No, that's what I said. I said Kris Jenner, she flipped that sex
Woo!
tape like a drug deal, and everybody ate.
Kris
Like
Jenner is the pimp of all pimps. Like that's what you need to say on my tombstone. Like the mother pimp. Like what? She was like, y'all gonna be out here doing shit like this anyway? We're gonna capitalize. Let's do it. She was like,
and
"Look, I will
now they're
manage
all
out of this
millionaires or billionaires, millionaires and billionaires. See,
Yeah,
and my
hell
kid
yeah.
better never come home with a sex tape. But
What?
shout out for them. Kudos for
My mom need to get it together because she been slacking.
them. Like I got a few sex tapes. You want them, mommy?
Girl, right now, she better run that OnlyFans page.
It's like run it up, mom. I got a few. Look at these videos.
Run it up, mom. What are you doing with your life?
Look, I deep throated him right there and the balls. Look
No
what I
hands, mom. No hands.
Let's get paid. Let's get this paper. Let's get this paper.
I need that kind of energy. I need that
We need
kind
that,
of energy in my life.
Yes, we need that, mommy. Come on, come on, come on.
Come on. I could have done that too. I know there's 2 girls in the hood right now that could flip that real good. I know. I know.
Come on, Mrs. L or Miss L. She got this.
Why are you frying the chicken? Let's go.
Right. She got this.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
just saying, because that's all it is, just capitalizing on what they're doing. And that's it. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Let everybody know where they can find you.
You can find me at Lise Winnie on Instagram and on Facebook. Not on there as much, but try to. Also on Snapchat under Millennials Anonymous. So you can find me there as well. I don't get on there that much, but Instagram is where I stay. You can also go to millennials, just put a Z on the end, .us, and you can find all of everything you need to know about Maps Media, about Lise Winnie, and about everything we got going on the website. And if you are in Maryland, you can listen to me on WHFC 91.1 FM at 1 p.m. on Lunchbox Radio Show with yours truly, Lise Winnie. Okay.
Yay. What's next for Maps Media?
I think what we're trying to do is come up with some scripted shows. So that's what we're working on next. We'll see what happens with that because that's going to take a lot of effort and energy, but that's where we're going. And then there's a new podcast dropping called Yes, I'm Anxious, which is it talks about mental health, and we're going to kind of like debunk a lot of the stigmas on bipolar, anorexia, all of that. So we're going to be talking to mental health professionals and people who actually have these mental illnesses or disorders.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, I'm so excited. As you know, I'm a diehard fan and a friend, and you are welcome back anytime. You know that. All you have to do is send me a message, and let's get it cracking.
Absolutely. And I'm sorry I kept you out. I talk way too much, but I appreciate you.
No. I love hearing your voice. So I love it. We good. It's always good.
I appreciate you. And say it loud. Okay, everybody. Good night.